has put together a set of guidelines that allow these guests to still participate in our events and others like it even during the strike. These guidelines require the members to steer away from discussing specific shows or characters by name and to avoid comments that might be seen as promoting projects that fall under the union strike order. The actors appear at our show are encouraged to discuss other more general topics about their lives and work. All right, now with that, we wish them great success in their strike endeavor, and we appreciate your understanding and support. Everybody make some noise, put your hands together for your moderator. Give it up for Claire Kramer.
Hello, 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 90s Fun! Have you guys had a good Saturday? Have you guys been in the panels? Yes? Have you enjoyed them? Well, some may say we've saved the best for last. Convention appearance ever, Lee Norris! And his first convention appearance, Anthony Tyler Quinn! Betsy Randall! Come on out, Betsy, there she is! Woo! And Matthew Lawrence! Come on out! Trina McGee, come on out! Please welcome William Daniels and Bonnie Bartlett! Come on out, guys! William Daniels, folks! Bonnie Bartlett, come on up, Bonnie! Come on, Bonnie, there she is, Bonnie Bartlett! Hi, everyone say hi, Bonnie! Hi, Bonnie! And next up we have Will Friedle! Come on out, Will! There he is, and Ryder Shawn! And last but not least, Danielle Fishel! Let's have a huge round of applause for the Portuguese Film Cast! Everybody's good. You all made it, guys. Congratulations! And welcome to Tampa.
Thank you. Thanks.
Have you guys had a great time? Had a chance to go out and see the city at all?
I went to Dry Bar.
You went to Dry
I
Bar.
went to Dry Bar. When I walked in on Friday, it was beautiful outside, and then I started having my hair curled, and I looked outside and it was pouring. And everyone said, "Welcome to Florida."
Here we are. Welcome to Florida, guys. Thank you. Are you guys excited to be here? Okay, so Lee and Anthony, this is your first convention. This is your first convention panel. What does it feel like for you guys to come and see a fandom that has appreciated something you've been a part of for so long?
Yeah, hi guys, this is awesome. It's so good to see you. No, this is really special. You guys have been so nice all weekend coming up and sharing personal stories and anecdotes and things that are really, really special. And then to get to be with this particular group of people, for me especially, is a long time in the making and a joy. So love you guys, and love you guys. Thank you.
This is for all of you. I mean, you guys have told me how much things mean to you and how special everything is, so it's always special to me that you guys can talk with you. So thank you all for being here.
And William and Bonnie, when you guys look out at this beautiful group of people who have come here to appreciate something you've been a part of, how does that feel? How does that make you feel?
feel like fleeing. They could get angry at any moment.
It's quite the crowd.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's amazing. Yes, it's amazing. For everything he's done, all the work, theater and television and movies, all of it. Great.
Yes. I have to say, this is one of the casts where there's so much more to talk about than just, what we're all here initially to celebrate. Will, you have done a ton of voiceover work. I've worked with you, and I feel like you're a voiceover genius. Talk a little bit about your process and how you approach a character for voiceover, and how that may differ if you're on camera playing a character.
There's a lot less exercise involved in voiceover, which is pretty wonderful. No, I mean, there's something very freeing about voiceover work. It's just you and a microphone, and you get to be wacky and crazy and or cool, which the only place I tell my wife, the only time I'm ever cool in my life is when I'm animating. So it's like, can you be Batman or a superhero? That's being like spandex anytime soon. So it's nice when they're animated, and it's just a ton of fun.
Trina, what is it like for you to come to an event like this and be celebrated?
Oh my gosh, it means so much to me. And what I really love is how people from different generations are showing it to their kids and to their kids. I mean, I can't explain how good that feels. That's just so amazing. Thank you guys so much for that.
Way back there. I am jealous you went to Dry Bar. I'm sorry it rained. That is Florida.
It held up. Thank you.
It was fabulous. You grew up on camera, essentially. What is it like for you now as an adult to look back on your body of work and see a young Danielle and what does that experience like, and also sharing that with your boys?
It's been amazing. I mean, I'm so appreciative that the show that we're all a part of has lasted as long as it did, because as we've talked about many times, sometimes when you have something going on that's right in front of you, you don't know how much you need to appreciate it. And as the years go and you get distance from it, it takes shape in new forms and you see it through a different lens. And sometimes that's a really positive lens, and other times you need space and distance from it. And the years have only made me grow fonder of not only every single one of these people, but the work that we have done together. And then meeting all of you face to face. I mean, I met a baby Topanga. She's right there.
Oh, she's like the Lion King.
Did you? It was named right. You spelled R-I after me. By the way, for the record, that might not be the child. We don't know.
But those are the kinds of moments that, no one could prepare you for. To just know that we have had an impact on anybody in that way is very special.
Mm-hmm. And Betsy, you have such a body of work, and this project, again, resonates with everyone. What does it feel like for you to come to these events as well?
Well, I have to, echo that, because it's been so moving to have people come up and tell me how much I contributed to their raising their children or raising them. And I've told all of you that you've all turned out beautifully because of me. So you're welcome. I must say that it's just been so moving to me. I get all put blunt.
She just says that. But since I've known you, you'll be in the middle of saying something like, and that's why I just feel thanks. It's coming in. Thanks.
It's so much to ask you, but let's start with the podcast.
Sure.
You and Danielle will have launched podcasts.
Yeah. We've gotten a lot of podcasts love at this convention, and it's really nice.
I love the podcast.
Oh, thank you.
But first of all, I want to know who takes credit for the idea.
But yeah.
Bill, you're getting credit for their amazing audio work.
Just take that. Don't anger the audience. Okay, so they, for whatever reason, these guys forgot that I came up with the idea for the podcast. And when we started doing interviews to promote the podcast, they were like, whose idea was this? I was like, what's right here,
I
guys?
think it was Will.
The idea was cool. I was like, no, come on. Because I came up with it in like 2019.
2018. Went back to our emails.
Yeah. Yeah, so 2018, which, and then like the whole idea of a rewatch podcast hadn't like really caught on yet. Which was fun. It was actually difficult. We took a couple of meetings and people were like, will anybody watch this? Or, well, how does this work? And
Watching what you're doing.
how do you do this? Do you hit play on a DVD? And we're like, we don't know. And then, of course, by the time 2021 came around, rewatch podcasts had become a thing, and it was a form. So we, worked with iHeart, and yeah, now it's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's,
Very lucky.
if you have not listened, you do need to listen because it's amazing. And yeah, a couple people listen. They're out here. Similar question to I asked Danielle for writer and Will. When you're preparing for a new episode of the podcast and you redo the rewatch, what surprises you about what you're seeing? Or what, how you were portrayed, or anything.
A lot. Almost everything surprises me.
Yeah.
Well, surprised because you've never seen it. I've never seen it. So watching it, but in general, I'm surprised how much I do remember from behind the scenes. I don't remember what ended up on camera that much. Past season 1, I just have no clue. So I'm like literally back there with the first episode where this happened. But I do remember the behind the scenes stuff because this is a foundational group in my life, and it's been really nice to revisit those memories and to feel very positive about these people. I mean, we had such a lucky collection of talented, and especially realizing how good some of these actors were. Where at the time, I just sort of thought that on a TV show you had great actors like Lee, or Tony, and no, these are amazingly rare things, But I was a kid, I didn't know any better. I just thought, we all show up, we act, and so to be able to go back and see, especially I think Lee's performance was just a revelation for us. He was so much more advanced than all of us, and we were just flailing around, and Lee was just a pro, and I think we totally took it for granted, we were just just doing his job, and now we can look back and be like, oh my God, and then Tony with the drama, with my character, the hair, the jeans, the tight jeans, were just amazing.
All right, Matthew, I'm coming to you in a second, but let's
Speaking of tight jeans.
There could be a podcast about the wardrobe in the 90s, really. Let's put off that. When you approach a character and you're looking at the words on the page and okay, now I need to create something, what is your approach?
Are you asking me?
I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, no, well, it's grown since that time, but thank you, Ryder. That was so nice, and I'm going to come back all the time now. It starts on the words on the page, right? Which shout out to our writers, especially right now. You start there and you build from that, and I just it's hard to get into specifics right now, but I think that it all starts there, and then getting to play with such talented people up here, that sort of brings out the best of it, right? And people surprise each other and do things that are really moving. And so I think getting to play in this particular group was especially rewarding and exciting for me.
Well, it was a great performance. Yes, all right, Matthew, aside from the tight jeans, what is one of your fondest memories from working in the 90s?
Wow, that's a big one.
I know, you've got a whole decade there of stuff to pull from.
I mean, there are like, I'm getting flashes, like images of things. Obviously, because I'm here today, one of the big ones was, I think I told you guys this, there was a moment early on, you guys took me out to lunch and I was in the car. And I just remember looking around at all you guys, and you guys had that, bond. And I thought it was really special. And that was the moment that I was like, oh, I feel very lucky to be a part of this. So when I saw you guys in here.
I think we said to each other, like, if he comes, he'll pick up the check. Let's get the new guy in the car.
It's an initiation process. You have to buy.
I love that.
Do you remember where we went? Were we like driving? I mean, we were in my car, you said? Was this the last time we were?
Was it your
We were
M3?
listening to Counting Crows.
Yeah, so the
No, but that was a two-seater, so it was probably my Nissan Pathfinder.
Must have been, yeah, must have been that, yeah.
Listening to Counting Crows.
Yeah, probably. Cool. It was a great memory for me. There's some other ones. You want to go into them?
Sure.
Oh, okay. I think going out to San Francisco and shooting Mrs. Doubtfire. I also did a show with my brothers called Relive.
Speaking of podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
We're trying our hand at a podcast as well.
tell us about it.
It's called the Brotherly Love Podcast.
It's just three brothers. We talk about nothing. Just tune in to hear us kind of razz each other for 40 minutes. Talk about stories, family, history, things like that.
I love that.
Just dinner table type conversation.
I love that. For those that don't know, what's the title of your podcast?
Brotherly Love Podcast.
Bonnie, I know backstage we have a lot we wanted to get to and a lot for you to talk about, so why don't you talk for a few minutes about what you've been up to and what's going on with you?
We've done this funny thing. You heard of William Shakespeare? Oh, is that what it is? You've heard of William Shakespeare. And we did a lot of Shakespeare when we were in college and a little bit after college, but nothing since. So we were asked to do, it's a special kind of program that is, you can see it on your smartphone. And it is just doing Richard III, which is a great play, and it's all in close-up. Each actor filmed it at home and sent it in. And the director sent us costumes and so forth. I can't believe that it's wonderful because the important thing about acting is relating to the other actors. That's terribly important to us. But we did it. And my son filmed it. Bill plays a ghost. He's the ghost of Richard. Not the ghost of Richard, the ghost of Henry, somebody. And I play a very long, angry person who is Queen Margaret. And it goes on forever. As my son said, I never saw anybody overwrite as much as Shakespeare did on this character, because she repeats herself and repeats herself, and I had to figure out a way to do that. Very angry woman, but I love to do that. And I like to do whatever you give me. So anyway, when that comes out, we will see if people buy into that and watch that. And I'm just anxious to see if anybody watches, because if it were me, I probably wouldn't.
Not because it isn't good,
don't believe in that, really. So, this was something to do.
Bonnie, do you remember any Shakespeare off the top of your head?
Sure.
Could you give us a couple lines or something?
Oh.
Let me come in.
Bill can do it. Do your thing from Hamlet. That Shakespeare. No.
Let's hear it.
My aching cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor the windy suspirations of forced breath that can denote me truly. For I have within what passes show, these just the trappings and the suits of woe.
And this is a question for both of you, and then for anyone else on the panel who's also tackled Shakespeare. Shakespeare can be intimidating. What is your approach to this mess of words? How do you approach the dialogue?
Read it. It's not intimidating. It's wonderful. You want to read it, of course. You see it in performance. I mean, I saw John Gielgud do the most amazing evening where he did he played Juliet, and he was amazing as Juliet. He was amazing, did one after another character. I've never been in such ecstasy in my life as that evening with John Gielgud. So it's wonderful. But if you read it and take your time and just read it, it's fun. It's fun because it's very dramatic and it's, and lots of words, and you just have to read it. And when you act it, there are problems only about. Well, Gielgud himself said when he was young, he was terrible. He was just terrible. Now he became a star anyway, but as he got older, he got better and better and better. By the time he died, he could do anything off the cuff, and it was great. Because that was a life in the theater, and he was fabulous. We don't have too much of that anymore, and we don't have as much of it in this country as in England, and other countries too, but in England particularly. And I think Bill always really, Bill is from Brooklyn. His father was a bricklayer in Brooklyn. They were very poor, and so forth. His mother got him into show business so that he'd have a better life. He hated her for it for a long time, but then he recognized that he was pretty good and it was okay. But I think he never felt that he belonged there, either in his family or in Brooklyn. He kind of wanted to be an English gentleman. He always did. And for years, he kind of did all the things that an English gentleman might do, you know what I mean? Now he's back to being like his dad.
He smiles.
He's come full circle. He's come full circle. Bill, can you tell us about your mother pushing you into show business? What was that like? How was that like when you were living in Brooklyn? What was your first time, on stage or in front of a camera?
Well, my sisters and I were very young, and I was angry about her, my mother, pushing us into show business. And it took me a very long time to get over the anger, and suddenly...
Billy, when were you first on stage?
Hey, this is not bad. You're not too bad at this. So I finally accepted it. But
first put on stage, you said you were tap dancing and before you could count. And you changed the step when the orchestra leader would change the melody or something, or did something, and that would make you change the step.
Oh, yeah, he would make it total.
So that you knew it was to change the step. He couldn't count.
At NBC had a show on a children's hour, and so we did it on radio, and then it went on to television. And when it went to television, we also started to do tap dancing for the camera. And Jackie was really better than I was at everything.
His mother thought that the girls
Singing.
would be big stars, but he wouldn't go anywhere.
Well, his mom was wrong.
Because they were all talented, very talented. The girls were wonderful, but no.
Did you fall in love with performing that young?
No.
Did you fall in love with performing when you were that young?
No, not really. I'm not sure I still.
Well, who did you follow, Bill? Who was it? Did you follow? What actor, performer did you follow? You and your sister followed. He was a big star. No. One of those guys with, ooh. It was a huge comedian, and their act was to follow this guy. And I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he was so nervous backstage, and he was like sweating. What? My company's not here. What am I going to do? I don't know what I'm going to do. My God, I'm a wreck. I can't do this. Well, where is it? And Bill said he looked at it and he thought, God, if he's nervous and he's a star, what does that make me? I should be a wreck. I should be I don't know why I'm doing this. And then the guy went on stage, of course, and the minute he went on stage, he was great. And he went on, you couldn't get him off, because he was just having a great time. But before he got on, he was a nervous wreck. And Bill thought, I must be nervous too. I must be nervous. Why don't I know that? You know?
That's amazing. Well, I'm so glad that your mom pushed you into show business, and I'm sure everyone else here is too. You're amazing. I saw you nodding in the back row when they were talking about Shakespeare. I feel like you have something to share.
No, I love Shakespeare. I don't have much to share, but I do love fine acting and things that make people really work to get the character across. So I was feeling you.
Anthony, when you approach a character, what is your process?
It's like kind of like a wardrobe where you gotta try stuff on, and certain things work, certain things don't. And just try to let the character sort of speak to you. And it's a process. It's like a sculpture. Certain things kind of feel right, certain things don't. So it takes time, but then once you find it, then you can really dive into it and make it grow.
I love that. Danielle, now that we've talked to Bill, what was your first time either on stage or in front of a camera? Were you quite young?
Yeah, I was 10.
Okay.
So not quite as young as Bill, but I was 10 when I first started acting, and I started in commercials. So I did. Yes. So my first commercial was a Mattel doll. There were 3 types of them. One where you pushed a button at the back of her head and 2 front teeth popped out of her mouth.
Creepy old vampire doll.
The other doll you held a fake ice cream cone to her mouth, and you would rub the ice cream on her mouth, and then she'd pull it away, and she would have like ice cream on her mouth. And then the other doll had braids, and it came with fake scissors, and you could pull her hair from the back of her head to make her hair shorter as you cut the doll hair.
One worse than the last.
So my first spoken line on television was, "Look, she's getting her first teeth." And I, "Sweet, I'm teeth." And And so yeah, I had done a bunch of commercials, and then I was actually on Full House. That was my first speaking. Yes, I was Jennifer too. So that was really fun. And then I did one more episode of Full House, and then the next thing you know, I was on Women's World. So it was a fast 2 years between 10 when I started and 12 when we started Boy in '93.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this could be said about a lot of properties, but this was perfect casting all the way. And seeing you guys interact now lets me know that like part of the reason everything resonated with people is because there were real relationships happening and real friendships. And what has that been like over the last 2 decades to keep up with each other, and how have you kept in each other's lives? Or is that part of what these weekends are about for you?
I think, much in the same way that the fans have gone probably through a transition of like, the more time passing and then sort of it changes your relationship to the show. I think us all getting older, especially those of us who were children, when we started teenagers, reaching middle age, like I now am so much more appreciative of these people. I think I totally took it for granted in my 20s, 30s, and I took the job itself for granted. So I think it's come full circle for me now, especially with the podcast, to be able to appreciate it, but then also like welcome these people into my life on a more regular basis, and just to make an effort to stay in touch and be in each other's lives, because we do have a very special bond. And you're right, it was just a great combination of people. Like it feels really good. Yeah.
Okay, Will, your turn. Once again.
I don't like it.
That's what makes you such a good actor.
There we go now. You take the broken one. You've talked enough. I feel the same way as Ryder and everybody else. I also started dancing on radio. I didn't do anything. I feel like I'm getting a press conference now. No, you form a bond that grows over time. And anybody who's been with, is still friends with people from when they were kids. Sometimes you go years without seeing them, and then you get right back into it, and it's like you pick up right where you left off. And the older you get, the shorter the time hopefully gets in between when you see each other again. Because you're not taking it for granted. You're seeing life through the eyes of an adult. You're going back and you're seeing everything you went through. You grew up together. You share something that you only get to share with a very select group of people. So you now hold on to it in a way that you never did before, which is great. That and MySpace. I just invested. I'm pretty excited. Fingers crossed. That's pushing. Yeah, pushing off. MySpace. I like it. And sidekicks. Remember sidekicks?
Sidekicks.
Yes. Remember sidekicks. Yes. I don't even know who this is anymore.
It's an old thing. Everybody's sharing. Okay, Betsy.
Yes.
What is a quirk? A personal quirk or a personal characteristic, or even like a passion, a habit that you have that maybe people don't know about?
Oh, that you don't know.
Yeah. Well, or a little known Betsy fact.
I don't know how little known the fact is that I love to sing at all times.
Incredible singer.
No matter what I'm
Incredible
doing,
singer.
if there's a crowd, I just want to sing.
Why don't you sing?
Come on, go give us Shakespeare. Give us a couple lines of something.
Instead of Shakespeare, I was singing, I think, at 5. I just did sing a lot. Easy.
I love singing.
All right. But anyway, so...
Say thank you.
All right. Over the rainbow, way up high, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? kind of quirks, except for that I'm just so amazed now, like you were saying about, I think your podcast thing has just really made a difference in terms of bringing us together again. And all of our conversations that we're having now are so different than they were when you were a little brat. It's much nicer to talk about what it's like to be old.
Yes, I hurt my ankle and I'm just sitting here. How did that happen?
You want to do that?
No, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, everybody evolves, and you have certainly evolved.
Yeah.
Much older brat.
Matthew, I know you're probably going to be spilling a lot on your podcast, especially because it's sounds like natural and genuine. But what about you? What's a little known fact or a passion, something you like to reflect? Tell us something you haven't shared before.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got a really cool gift. I got tiny little cowboy hats for all my reptiles. They're all going to be taking pictures with their tiny little cowboy hats.
4 in the first place. There was a bin of tiny cowboy hats, really 500, 700 cowboy hats?
What did Greg say?
Dolls, right? Or action figures, or whatever. Like,
They weren't small enough to be on like.
Thank you. It wasn't like G.I. Joe, actually. It was a strange enough size to make it question. It's true. I've never seen that, right?
the little people that live in the woods.
I don't know. But yeah, they were just small enough to wonder, why were these made in the first place? But we did. We bought you some.
You're gonna have to put those images behind the paywall.
Seriously though, one of the most clever little gifts I've received in a long time.
Well, you're welcome.
You know the way to my heart.
I do. It's with small reptile hats.
That's it.
And I love that they manifested themselves that night.
I did. That night.
That's the really unique part of the story.
Yeah.
There were Cushlings at that same store, weren't
There were.
Yeah?
It was a very cool toy store.
It was a cool choice. It was awesome. That's right. It was very cool.
Okay, Bill, I want to give you a minute. You obviously, everyone here is just so happy, and you too, Betsy, that you guys are traveling, you're here, you're talking. I want to know, in your life of living and doing some amazing things, what is your takeaway? What is your life lesson that you feel like you want to pass on and share?
Repeat that last.
What is your life lesson as a person? Not an actor, not, a performer, but just what have you learned from these last, several decades, almost century? What?
96 years.
Well, I'm gonna let her say the age, because I know better than to do that. Yeah, what is your life lesson? You can go first, Betsy, if you would like. Or Bonnie.
Yep. I can say one of the things that all these cons have done for me is that we have gotten out and met people all over this country. I have to say, people are very nice. And if we hadn't met, I wouldn't have known that. I mean, you go to Kansas City, yeah, what great people. Where do you go? Boston, Chicago. Well, Chicago I knew, but even so, we're here. It's kind of amazing how, because of this show and other things that we have done, we have met millions, not millions, hundreds of people, and they're all
We're in between. There's quite hungry.
billions.
There's rotten apples everywhere. Like a SAG after. But there are 2 ex-presidents of SAG-AFTRA at this convention. And Gabrielle Carteris is here, and she was president for like 4 years, or maybe even 6. So anyway, what am I getting onto that?
I love it. No, you know what? You're right. When you come to these events, you realize people are kind, people are good by and large, and you know,
or at least we see that side of them.
Right.
I don't know, you know, politically and all of that sort of thing, but we do see it. Because of the show, we see that side of them.
Now,
So I hope that influences them to be better people.
You were going to jump in, so I want to give you a second here to give your answer. Life lesson.
A life lesson? I was thinking about it. I didn't know I was going to jump in, but since I'm jumping, I was going to say that I've been learning as things go along, and when you move, like you move to another house, or I lose touch and then reconnect again, all of these things. And I'm starting to see that I've made an assumption like, okay, it's all over, I'm now old, or something's ended, and it's not like that. I actually feel more opening happening. Now, can I remember my words when I sing a solo? My God, I hope so. But I don't know anymore, but I'm willing to try. And I'm not giving up, and I'm pretty hot shit, you know? Just said that.
I'm supposed to say thank you.
Mother.
Yeah, that's why I'm a good mother, because I can say that.
I don't have a life lesson, because I'm still a young whippersnapper at only 42. But what I do love when I see all of us together, and over the 30 years, or thereabouts, that we have all known each other, it really strikes me how important, commitment is, because over this many years and this much time together in different work atmospheres, you have fights, you have falling outs, you have moments where you come back together. But because we are constantly put back together, there have been times where we've needed space from each other, where we've taken long distances. And yet, when you really commit to a relationship, and you really commit to this idea that we are always going to be in each other's lives, the amount of growth and grace and forgiveness and compassion and true knowing of each other that we now have, that we would never have had we just written each other off and said, I'm done with you, I don't want to see you again. And so, that commitment to relationship is something I think is just a lesson for everybody.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, it is what family's about. Okay, we have just a minute or two left, so I want to start back here, and I would like you each to, in 1 or 2 words, describe what this whole experience over 3 decades has meant to you. 1, 2, 3 words. Just quick, just very succinct. So
Gratitude.
Extremely deeply meaningful.
A marker of growth for me.
Extreme friendship, growth, and I don't know, it's hard to put this in a few words, but it's you know what it is, it's just, I'm really proud of everybody. 3, I don't know how many decades later at this point, really proud to see everybody here and to see how they've grown in their lives, some of the kids, parents, and I just respect the heck out of everybody on this stage.
that's amazing.
I would say all the things everyone else has said, plus learning. I learned so much and so many different things from all of these people. And I've learned from them in different times of my life, different things. And we keep showing each other new things and keep learning from each other. And I think that openness is what makes us all so close. So I would say a learning.
Betsy, let's go down here.
Okay, I'm gonna say this is, there's always a new day. I mean, each day is the first day of the rest of your life. And I actually do believe that. You know, that I really have a lot of hope. Even though I get mad as heck, you know, about things and I get discouraged. I believe in the human heart and our ability to do what we really want to do in the long run. So determination, I suppose it is. It's certainly gratitude for you. And you.
Thank you. What everybody else said. It's just it's very easy with everything going on in our country right now to think that we all hate each other.
Yeah.
And we're all against each other, and it's us against us and us against them. And when you actually get out among people, it's not. It's all of us together on the same team, and if we can just remember that and block out the noise, it can be what it was. So, yeah.
I love that.
Wisdom, great stories, and laughter.
Bonnie?
Knowing this group, Bill being major and me being kind of minor, just sort of in it a little bit, but over the years, what they brought me, because I'm a very serious person, and what they've brought me is a lot of fun, and how it can be fun to be an actor. It doesn't have to be, I mean, Lee Strasberg never taught you fun. He taught you a lot, but it was never, where's the fun in acting? We never got that. And I get that from all these kids. I mean, they're not kids, but, you know, I get that from all of them. And other places, Tim Allen. I got that from Tim Allen. I got that, you know, that has been, I think, one of the best things that's ever happened to me, because I am such an intense person. And I need that laughter. I need to know how to have fun.
I love that. And Bill, last but not least, the whole, if you had to describe the experience of these people and this cast and filming this show in just one or two words, what would it be?
Getting to know you. Know all about you.
Thank you guys so much for joining us.